Hey everyone, and welcome back to another round of Mom Q&A with Mamas Uncut, where we answer your anonymous questions about parenting, relationships, motherhood, and so much more. You guys ready to answer some more questions?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
All right. When talking to your children about a very uncomfortable subject, what are some tips? My son is experiencing sexual emotions for the first time. He's been noticing urges and differences in his private areas, and all he can say is it feels weird or different. Unfortunately, I don't know how to explain those things as I am a woman and do not know what boys men experience mentally and emotionally when arousal and curiosity starts happening. I know this is a touchy subject for kids, and I've talked with my kids about no means no, and if someone touches you in your private areas, to say no and tell a trusted adult. But this is a completely different conversation. I want to approach it in the most respectful way and honest way that I can. My husband's or slash kid's father expects me to have this conversation with our son, and I'm not sure where to start. Any tips or help with starting the conversation would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Well, the
The
issue
first piece of the conversation is the no baby rule. That's number one.
is
And then the fact that the dad is not willing to have this conversation
Weird.
with his son
yeah.
is just not acceptable.
No. Time to push past being a boy, and you need to be a man and talk to your son about this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like the woman's right to an extent, right? But she can talk to her son about I know it's uncomfortable, but it's really normal for you to be
Right.
experiencing this. And I think the best way to talk about kids to things like this is not having a sit down, all right, now we're going to talk. I like to just sprinkle things as we're going along and as they come up, right? I'll be like, oh yeah, like that happens. And a lot of it is brought on by seeing animals do things or asking about babies or parents or whatever. So just bring it up as you go along. What?
How old is the kid?
It does not say.
He's probably, I mean, if he's starting to, he could be anywhere from 8 to 12.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I mean, if you're dealing with a 12-year-old, like a middle schooler, right? Because that's kind of when it normally happens, and listening to my guy friends talk about their middle schooler experiences, when they didn't want to get up from their desk because they had a boner and anything would give them one. It's natural and just kind of, I would say watch a coming of age movie. Those things absolutely come up in those, and it's normal. American Pie's great.
Honestly, the first step I would take is push back against my husband.
Totally.
I'd be like, listen, I have never experienced the feeling of any of this. I will totally take on any girls that we have or have in the future. This is you, bro. You need to at least open it up and be like, what's going on, dude? Everybody goes through this. Every guy in the world has experienced this. There's no reason to feel weird about it. I say that a lot with my daughter. I'm like, every woman on the planet understands what a period is and what it's like to develop breasts. It's normal.
And is the son talking about it? Because if the son's actively bringing it up and talking about
he
it,
is.
Well,
because it's uncomfortable.
You can just make it just say it, right?
Yeah.
If he's inquiring, he clearly wants to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to be afraid of or ashamed of for him or for you.
Yeah.
And if the dad isn't gonna make it happen, which is ridiculous.
So silly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I get men have a perspective that women do not. But when you hit a certain age as a woman, you pretty much know all that a man is going through to begin with. So
single moms can do it easily. They can explain all of this and their kids are just fine.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe you don't have that first person experience, but you know enough to educate your son the best that you can. So I wouldn't think too much into it. Just, tell him the information you have and he'll figure out the rest.
Well, and look, if he's in that middle school range, it's in school. They teach it in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say, I don't know if I had any of these kind of conversations with my parents. My parents are loving people. And if I
Yeah.
had asked them, I think they would have sat me down. But like, I was just a super awkward child. I didn't want to talk about that at all. And I got enough of it from my friends at school. So like you do inherently just learn about it, especially in like a public school. I can see maybe if you have like reservations if they're in private school because it's definitely a different world, but they're gonna eventually learn about it anyway.
They
So
will.
Yeah.
But I always like it to come from me. I'm like, I know more than your not stupid little friends. I know more than your
Yeah.
little friends. Okay.
right.
Mom and dad know everything there is to know about being a person, you
Yeah.
know, not everything, but you know,
Yeah.
we've had kids. We understand how everything works. I always like them to come to me for things like that. So that's always how I build it. I'm like, don't ask your friends.
Right.
I know. They
Yeah.
don't, they pretend like they know, but they don't really know.
True. That's how like what the people who believe you get pregnant through the belly button.
Yes. Yes. I'm like, those could be kids that my kids are friends with. Like, I don't want them getting information from them. Come to me.
Too funny. Too funny.
The belly button. I can't handle that.
Don't forget to send us over your questions so we can answer them here. Bye.